back everyone, and it's time to go deep. Today we're covering who is Asta's father. Ever since we have been introduced to his mother Licita, who had the magical constitution disease that absorbed life force and mana, it has been plaguing the community with a question. The biggest question known to man. Who was the one who went on this suicide mission for that thing?
Okay, now let's get a good look at you.
Hold it. Run that back.
Wait a minute. Go right.
There, freeze that.
Full screen.
Zoom in right here on this spot.
You degenerates clearly have a problem because you keep asking me who risked it all for Asta's mother.
Bruh.
When I asked you guys on the community tab on what Black Clover topics you want, I saw the same thing over and over again. ABD, we need your opinion. Please use your balls deep prediction magic. And then I was like, oh shit, how do I answer such a question if there is no answer? Shall I pull something out of my ass and say Asta has star magic? Oh yes, that makes perfect sense. There you go guys, Asta's father is a devil because Lucifer means morning star, right? And Asta has star in his eyes. Video done. I answered the question. Now in all seriousness, I decided to make this video because of your many requests over on Twitter and YouTube. A lot of you want to know our opinion on who we think Asta's father is, and I do have an answer.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
But it isn't what you're expecting or me confirming the identity, but rather the idea of who Asta's father is.
Move this man!
Hey, don't disrespect Balls Deep Prediction Magic. That is blasphemy around here. So go ahead, smash that like button and notification bell to repent, because we need to stick together and stay on the same page as Black Clover fans. Asta Father theories have been surging throughout the community, but to be quite frank, there simply isn't enough evidence in the series right now to determine anything. That is, if we subtract the circumstantial evidence that it had to be someone with a unique mana condition, like someone from a race with unique attributes like the devils. Licita said in chapter 268 that the reason Liebe isn't losing life force is because he is a devil, therefore implying that other races have different constitutions to the world they live in, thus allowing us to come to a logical idea that a person from another race could have banged Asta's mum, even a devil. That's why so many of you claim that Asta could be half devil, as it would explain his abnormal strength, yada yada yada. But I'm here to present the idea that this would destroy the whole theme of Black Clover, and that Asta shouldn't be bestowed such special genetics, as it would give him an unfair advantage over others, in the end making his achievements cheapened. Alright, now before I dive deeper, I want to quickly thank our sponsors ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN is giving you a special discounted subscription of 3 extra months for free with our special link in the description and comment section below. We have been using this VPN for over a year and love the benefits. We live in the UK, but with ExpressVPN we have access to limited region exclusive content, meaning that with just a press of a button we can go to Japan, USA and other regions to watch anime which you wouldn't normally have. For example, I can watch Naruto with the USA version of Netflix rather than the UK. The amount of content you can stream will literally quadruple, as this works with Netflix, Amazon, Hulu and other streaming services you can think of. Another benefit, which let's be honest, is that some of you like searching up your favorite waifu doing your research, right? I ain't gonna judge, but you're probably thinking the private browser tab does its job and no one will know. But this isn't true. Your history can still be logged with your day-to-day activities by your ISP, and then could potentially be sold to third parties depending on which country you live in.
Hey yo, what the
ExpressVPN can help protect you because it will reroute your connection and keep everything private so that no one can trace you from your public IP address. There isn't even a drop in internet speed due to their VPN server locations. Start by clicking on our link in the description, expressvpn.com/abd. You can get 3 months for free, but the best bit is that they also have 30-day money back guarantee, so there's nothing to lose. Just try it out. Some believe that Liebe could have possibly been created by Asta's mother, which would explain why they both exactly look like each other, they have no mana and are short. One of the biggest hints to how devils are created is in chapter 281, where Zenon tells us the tale of the two ancient royal rivals who had their rivalry turn into a violent battle and them becoming high-ranked demons in the process of it. In that bedtime story Zenon just narrated for us, he also mentions how the birth of devils work, that demons are a miracle created from human malice and the powers of the underworld, which is a huge hint to the creation of these devils, which would also explain why so many of them are so different looking, as they all come from different emotions and races. This leads us to our answer to the question, as it would explain Liebe's connection to Asta and having the same conditions as him. It's very possible that Liebe is a devil born out of Licita's regret or malice from what she received as she was ostracized, and therefore having to leave her child Asta due to her conditions. You can even say she hated herself because she had to let go of her son, and this would be the exact reason that Liebe came out to be with zero magic, being parallel to Asta. Asta's mother admitted herself in chapter 268 that she was loathed by others, and that's what caused her loneliness, a feeling she resonated with Liebe, where they both felt misunderstood and treated badly by society. She states her magic is able to store things that have no mana, but the reason she is loathed is not because of her magic, but rather her unique body that steals magic and life force from whatever is near her. When Lucifer tried to take away Liebe from her, Licita remembers her son Asta and says this time she is not letting go, as she has created a bond with a son she always wanted and regrets not being able to do anything in the past. She works hard to fight off Lucifer, which resulted in Liebe being saved, but at the same time causing her death. Now one could argue that Asta's mother didn't want to let him go at the church, as she admits it herself, but rather she was forced by society and her unique body. The question we have to deduce is how Licita ended up with such a body. How would she get pregnant or even grow up as a normal child? The logical answer we came to is that Licita was cursed or was bestowed this body afterwards. Licita's unique body is similar to Henry's condition being a curse, confirmed by Gordon's father back in chapter 223. Henry has a unique body that drains mana from those near him, whilst Licita drains life force on top of that, meaning this could be a curse or unique magic dealt out to Asta's mother, which would explain a hell of a lot, like Asta's manaless condition potentially being a byproduct of a unique body, or his own mother draining mana from him while she swiftly tried to reach the church. It could even explain why Licita even got the chance to get pregnant by Asta's father, and how she didn't kill her own parents when she was born, so on and so forth. I mean, think about it guys, it's not just about Asta's father not being able to impregnate Licita, but it raises many questions, like how was Licita even born to begin with without killing her parents? How did she grow up if there was no one to feed her, because they would all die? She probably would have been killed as a child due to the oppression that would be dished out on behalf of her village, as seen with Zora's father being killed just for being a commoner, or Henry's family ditching him. His own mother and father ditched him just because of his condition. So this leads us to believe that this condition in Asta's mother was given to her afterwards. Seeing how much Tabata loves tragic backstories with some sort of key event which explains the oppression or sadness in the characters' lives, you only have to look at characters like Nacht, Patri, Gauche, Zora, Luck, and so on. The chances are that Licita's curse is something that happens later in her life, which leads her to kill those around her, and she becomes shunned, therefore has to live alone. It would remain consistent with the rest of the story and would fall in line with the themes of the Black Bulls, where people's worth is misunderstood because of the materialistic standing and magical prowess. So now I know what you're thinking, oh my god ABD, answer the question please, we need your balls deep prediction magic. So who do I think is Asta's father? I asked all of you on Twitter this very question, and it's the most split I've ever seen a poll, where every option has a significant amount of votes. I personally believe Asta's father is someone that could withstand Licita's body type, which is why they would fall in love. It will definitely be a person that supported her through thick and thin when others did not, a characteristic which Asta harbors with Noelle, where Noelle doubted herself and couldn't control her magic, but through Asta, she gained confidence and can become who she is, therefore falling in love with Asta. This would be a fantastic parallel for Asta's father to have with his son, where he did this with Licita. Going further, I will even debunk why Asta's father cannot be a devil, so please stick around.
What do you mean by that?
In my opinion, regardless of who Asta's father is, Asta's character has always been the opposite to the world of Black Clover, as Tabata admitted that Asta will be the antithesis to others. He defies and opposes every rule, idea and philosophy the story has presented considering magic. You can describe Asta as an anomaly. Asta's not special at all, but this is what makes him special, as the Witch Queen stated. This is because in Black Clover's world, where everyone is special, everyone possesses magic, nobles and royals exist to flaunt their special lineages, Asta is a unique existence, and there are things only he can do because of the way he is, and that's what makes him special. The Witch Queen confirmed this herself, and it's the very reason why he can wield the anti-magic swords. No one else can. She even checked Asta's lineage through blood magic that she possesses, and could see there was nothing special about it, as the Witch Queen even checked if Asta was a descendant of the elves, which he wasn't. Even the power Asta wields in the eyes of nobles and royals is the ultimate equalizer, since their heritage of magic is so important. Someone with the potential to render it all meaningless is terrifying to them, as we see in chapter 217 as evidence. This is why Liebe's backstory didn't contain any sort of emphasis on his identity in the underworld, since Liebe was not supposed to contrast Asta, but to parallel him instead. Liebe isn't some special devil, just a low-ranked devil who happened to join up with Asta due to the circumstances of events that unfolded. In terms of writing, Tabata made sure to keep the themes intact in regards to this aspect. Asta is not special and only born out of circumstances he didn't have control over. He was just a man that worked hard and has a strong moral compass, goal and ethics that help him achieve the target he has in mind, which is to become the Wizard King, which, by the way, I covered thoroughly in detail why Asta is already a king. The video is being displayed to you right now. You must watch it if you want to understand Asta's character overall and the story of Black Clover. I'll put the link in the pinned comment for you, so make sure to check it out. We also have Asta Journey merch. There is 15% off if you use the code Asta at checkout. Thank you to everyone that has supported us by buying our merch. We love you guys and hope for your continued support. Check the link in the pinned comment. But going back to the point, if Liebe was the king of the underworld or something special, where he planned it all along for Asta to gain supreme power to enact his revenge, it would have taken away from his character's hard work and the thematic picture, which we can admit is a mistake that Kishimoto made with Naruto. No one can deny the ongoing debate fans always point out to disregard Naruto's efforts. We have all seen the videos where fans say Naruto is a hypocrite to Neji, as he talks about making his own destiny and not following the path set before birth. Yet Naruto's life was filled with prophecies, overpowered genetics and destinies. I will address this debate one day in the future with my opinion, because it's not exactly what you believe. I can defend this point. I'm going to defend Naruto's character in the future, trust me. Now, why am I mentioning all of this analysis on Asta's character and his role in the world when this video is about his potential father? Well, it's because, as shonen rules would dictate, the parents of the main character play a big part in who they become and how important they are. If Asta's father would be from a special race or just a special being in general, then it would work against the thematic image of Asta's character. And to be frank, I don't want Asta to be who he is because of his parents. That counts even more considering one of the main motifs of the story is heritage, whether it be family or spiritually. That's why such a huge part of the main cast have backstories relating to their families, whether it be positively portrayed by characters like Zora or Nark, or negatively like Noelle, Vanessa, William and so on. Black Clover's story is trying to aim for the idea that all races and humans should unite to create peace, just like in the past. In the Elf arc, we saw Lumiere and Licht join together on a common ideology, where later the story imperatively tries to tell us that Asta represents them when he said the exact words to Raya. Nero even saw the image of the first Wizard King within Asta. And this also leads into the future Asta wants to build, by the way. Asta wants to become an equalizer for the world where everyone is on a similar standing despite origin and ranking, where they can also achieve greatness like he is trying to achieve. This is parallel with Asta's goal and Julius's speech during his death in chapter 146. Asta showed how he opposed the ideals of the inhabitants of the world of Black Clover, where Sisgolion tried to go in for the kill when it came to Raya, and he stopped both their deaths. Sisgolion thinks back to the attack on the royal capital, as she says that the elves aren't interested in mutual understanding. She had been there to take revenge for her brother, just like how the elves were trying to take revenge out against on humans. That was their link of understanding, which Asta highlighted between these characters. He was willing to stand against Sisgolion to oppose their ways. One of the main messages of Black Clover's story has been what makes a family, and it questions whether it's blood ties that chain down people to their respective families, like the Witch Queen was using her motherly status to contain Vanessa from her freedom, as she ironically had blood magic. Or is family the people you find most important to you that makes them family in the first place, like we've seen with the Black Bulls and the ancient elf tribe from 500 years ago. A vast majority of characters follow a common thread in their stories, and that's why we don't want Asta's father to be someone special or be the reason Asta is special in the way he is. If you're around in the community back when Tabata revealed the anti-magic devil in chapter 268, you would remember how strong the anticipation was for the answers to Asta's parents and the big plan that was brewing in regard to Liebe wanting to take over Asta's body. It was freaking insane. Everyone thought it was something special, but look how that turned out. If you look at the story structure of chapters 268 to 270, Tabata specifically makes sure to remind readers that everything was circumstantial, making sure that it sticks to the theme that Asta isn't special. He wasn't blessed, but it's because he earned it and what he represents. Some of you will try to rebuttal this argument by mentioning Magna stating Asta's OP anti-magic powers in chapters 293. However, Magna says he's a peasant just like him, and Asta has even less than he does. The difference is that Asta is the one that makes anti-magic seem overpowered because of the way he wields it and his work ethic. Anti-magic wouldn't be what it is without Asta, as we see in chapter 270. Asta beats Liebe with one arm and no magic, despite Liebe having the power to freely control anti-magic and the swords as he pleases. The difference is that Asta's journey allows him to develop as a character to harness the attributes to wield the anti-magic. It was all thanks to Asta's vast experience, hard work, actions, skills, and his applications of the different teachings he had learned from his different teachers and opponents that led him lead to victory and BOP. Asta's not going to be special, and Liebe's not special either. They really have no place in the world, and it's only when they are together that anti-magic is so strong. And to strengthen that statement, we just have to look at Asta vs Dante back in chapter 243, when Lucifer looks down on Liebe and his powers as a devil. Even the king of hell is saying anti-magic is poultry. And now I'm gonna go even deeper and beyond, strengthen this idea even further. Look at chapter 290, when Asta and Liebe took down the fusion of both Lilith and Nama. They voiced their thoughts through their inner monologue. Asta and Liebe are both the least significant beings in their respective worlds, but together they can take on anything. The theme continues once again, letting readers know that both these characters are not special, but it's because of their hard work, attitude, and bond which allows them to achieve their goals together. Licita gave up on Asta due to not wanting to pass on the subjugation and oppression for the actions they as parents did not commit. It's why she says at chapter 268 that I'm not letting go this time round, in reference to remembering Asta being left at the church while she tries to save Liebe from a similar fate. There was probably some action in the past that leads to Asta's parents, mother and father, being outcasted, and the reason she leaves Asta was not to pass down any of the sins she or the dad may have committed. They must have been ostracized or framed for something they did not do. Asta's father definitely can't be a devil, because why would Licita be shocked seeing one for the first time with Liebe? And on top of that, she found out new information about herself with Liebe by stating his constitution of being a devil is what seems to make him not die to her power. If the father was a devil that smashed, then why wouldn't she know this already, right? Therefore, the only possibilities I see are other races, a non-special human just like Asta and herself, or a strong person that could withstand her condition, which made her fall in love with him in the first place. These are the three routes routes I can think of right now. So it will either be a mixture of them or something new. Maybe it's about to make an ass pull again, I don't know. I'm just kidding, I'm kidding. Shut your I definitely think this is the answer that we're all looking for. When new information comes out, I will update this video. As I said, there aren't many clues, but I used as much logic as possible to answer this question for you guys in the community because you kept asking me. With that, make sure to buy our Asta Journey merch, hit the notification bell, and thank you for joining.